All right, once I see myself on YouTube, we will go. All right. Thank you so much for joining me here at the First Alert Desk. My name is Tori Cooper, and we're so glad you always choose to tune in with us online because that's the way we get things to you quickly, even when we are not in our newscast. So, a few details on some stories that we've been working on so far today. Definitely following up from some of the stories that we had yesterday. I want to start with a story that really came in as breaking news around 6 o'clock last night. We made sure to get a reporter out there as soon as possible, and now we're getting some more details. So we learned last night that it was an officer-involved shooting out near Six Flags, and now we have way more information as it relates to what took place out there. So we do know that unfortunately, a teenager who was 15 years old was shot by police, and now the GBI is investigating. But our Atlanta News First reporter, Asia Wilson, did manage to get some more details from Six Flags, as well as some more information on what led up to the shooting. So I'm going to let her take it away from here.
Running for their lives after gunshots rang out near Six Flags over Georgia Saturday night.
I really did see people running around, but I didn't know what it was because, I'm thinking that, it's a fun place and that people just running to get somewhere.
Dekalb County police say around 6:15, 500 to 600 people were running through the park and fighting. A woman who has been working at the park the last 6 months says she saw some of the commotion.
Young people is what I saw.
Police say when security and officers followed the unruly crowd out of the park onto Six Flags Parkway near South Service Road, an unknown number of suspects shot at them. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says a Dekalb County police car was hit, and at some point, a police officer fired his gun, hitting a 15-year-old who is in critical condition. Officers later found a gun near him.
And I don't believe that they should let people come here and just destroy the place or, humiliate other people and things of that nature. I think they should be very tight on their security. Maybe they need more real officers here so that they can sort of pump some type of fear in those type of people that want to come out.
Six Flags over Georgia released a statement which says in part, "It is incredibly disappointing that our community is disrupted at public events throughout the region by groups of underage youth. A fearful experience, leaving some pleading for changes."
Well, this is a fun park, and there's other people here that pay money to be here, and that they would like to be just as safe as anyone else.
In Dekalb County, Asia Wilson, Atlanta News First.
To the package, because I know there was a few seconds there where there was no sound in the beginning.
The sights and sound of terror from innocent bystanders running for their lives.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for staying with us. We are always a one-man band over here, and we just wanted to make sure some audio issues weren't happening for that story that we just shared with you. But we do have our Atlanta News First reporter, Bridget Spencer, working some more details tonight on this story. There is a press conference that Six Flags is holding today, and some other officials that are investigating this, of course, law enforcement officials. So we're going to be getting another update as it relates to hearing from more details from Six Flags, more details from police, and we're going to have that for you in our evening newscast tonight at 6. So make sure that you stick around for that and tune in. So now I just want to move along to another story that came in late last night. In case you weren't watching our newscast, in case you haven't been online, these are some of the other stories that we also just want to make sure that you know about. So let me move along here. I want to talk about James King. This is a story that we've been following for a number of days. It started in around February 24th. That's when James King, he's 57 years old, went missing. And now we learned last night from family members that unfortunately police recovered his body. That's what family members have been telling us. So they tell us that initially, let me show you a picture of James while I talk this out with you. All right, here we go. All right, so this is James that you're looking at. And family members say that he did have mental disabilities. And they told us that James went to Applebee's, and then he told his friends that he was leaving and heading to the bus stop, and then he disappeared. And unfortunately, last night is when family members say police found his body near Mariners Road. And this is some video from the scene from where his body was unfortunately recovered. So police have not released any additional information as to the cause of death. We are going to follow back up with the medical examiner's office to try to get that information. And of course, if we do learn any information as it relates to the cause of his death, we'll make sure to share it with you right here on the First Alert Desk as well as in our newscast. So, of course, anytime that happens, our thoughts and prayers are always with the family members. I mean, that's just a devastating outcome. Now I want to move on to one last story that we had happen early this morning. There was a fire that broke out at an apartment complex in Decatur. I'm going to show you a picture that we managed to get from the scene there. We know that multiple crews responded to this area. The good news, no one was injured, but we are still working to get some information to determine if any residents were displaced by this. Typically when this happens, there's a number of residents that have to at least vacate for a temporary time period. But yeah, we're working to learn that information. But what we do know is that no one was hurt, and this was that's something that took place in Decatur early this morning. Let me get the name of the road really quick for you. It was along Clubhouse Circle is where this apartment complex was located in Decatur. So again, good reminder for everyone. Just make sure that your smoke alarms are always working, anything to alert you to that, and that you have fire prevention supplies inside your house or your apartment, because many of these apartment complexes are old, and we have to keep an eye on that. And of course, if you have space heaters, always make sure that they are away from anything that is flammable. All right, so those are the three stories that I felt you should definitely know as you plan your evening. The good news is we have more beautiful temperatures outside. That's what I love. We're going to hear more from our First Alert meteorologist, Cutter Martin. He'll really break down your weather. If you can't wait until 6, you can always find it on the First Alert weather app. And if you miss the 6, you can always tune back in right here on the First Alert Desk at 8 o'clock, because we will have Miss Carly Barnett on here providing an update, as well as our First Alert meteorologist, Cutter Martin, who will be on here as well. So we will be on tonight at 6, 10, and 11, as always, and we are looking forward to seeing you on the other side. So please stay safe out there, and always remember to make sure that you have our apps, because we're following so many stories and we push new details out to your cell phones as soon as we learn anything. And we always try to keep our website updated. Our web team works very hard on that. So keep an eye on our coverage. All right, well, have a great rest of your Sunday, and we will see you soon.